segment with you. I will introduce myself for those who don't know who I am. My name is Sandra Suares, and I am the director and founder of Jesse's Place Organization. I'm the host and founder of Aftermath. And can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. My name is Angel Rice. I am founder of Restoring Hope California and Impacted Family and an advocate for the incarcerated population and for families.
Yay, that's an understatement. Everything that you do. It's a very modest introduction, but I am excited to have you on to share, a little bit about yourself, to share a little bit about your husband, your organization. You are also the vice IFC chair. So I have a tons of questions, and try to keep it brief, but definitely, whenever you're not comfortable with a question, you could say pass or no or however you want, but definitely want you to be comfortable. And I want you to be yourself because a lot of the times we're not ourselves because of what we do, but you already know how I roll. So,
Mhm.
my first question is, besides being obviously the founder or co-founder and director of Restoring Hope, who is Angel Rice?
Who is Angel Rice? I am
Hmm.
system impacted. I am a wife. I am a mother. I have three adult children. Um, I am a loyal friend, supporter of anyone going through any issues, whether it's incarceration, housing issues, um, financial issues, just anybody who's in need. I'm always there for you. I'm always there to lend a helping hand and provide support to people because I've had a lot of lived experience, a whole lot of lived experience. I am also system impacted, like I have been through the system myself. So that's something a lot of people don't know. So it's something that I really don't share often. But yes, I've been through the juvenile system, the adult system. So I understand what it's like being impacted on as a family member and as a person who's been incarcerated. So
I know, right? That's shocking. And you actually left me without words right now because that wasn't even a question I was going to ask, but that will make that's what exactly makes you real, what makes you raw is not just that you are a system impacted wife, but I just do have to say you forgot Gizmo, and you cannot forget Gizmo the doggy. He's also part of the family. But I admire you for your strengths, for what you do for this community. And so you stated that you are system impacted and who is currently in the carceral system that's, related to you.
my husband's currently incarcerated. I do have other family members that are there as well, but the closest to me right now is my husband.
Your husband.
Yeah.
And so I know that you travel a ways, and so I'm kind of being mindful of my questions to you. Um, but you travel a ways to go see him. How far do you travel?
It's a 5 hour drive for me. 5 hour drive. If I fly, it's about an hour, a little hour over an hour and a half, but 5 hour distance, and I stay the weekend. So
Yeah.
I'm not making that turnaround trip. Otherwise, it'd be a 10 hour drive for the day.
I was about to ask you that. So you do have to stay over there, obviously, right?
Yes. Yes.
That's a long drive. I know I still remember our drives. We're not as long as that, but I still give you a lot of credit, the families that make those drives or flights to get there. And so who is Joseph Rice?
My heart. That is my heart.
Mm-hmm.
Joseph Rice is my heart. My husband. This is his second term, unfortunately. Um, this term, he's been down 15 years. Um, and he is a reformed individual. He is taking his rehabilitation so much more seriously this time around. He's gotten his bachelor's degree, he's gotten five AA degrees, He's written his own curriculum, the Hope curriculum. It's available on the Edovo tablets and also through mail, through correspondence. Um, he helped me form this organization that we have now, Restoring Hope California. And the reason we formed that is because we wanted to impact not only families, but we wanted to impact the community where he committed his crime in. Um, we offer a lot of different programs through that. So
So, how long has Restoring Hope been around?
we started it in 2024. We started it in
Okay.
2024 and then became federally recognized the end of 2025.
And what does Restoring Hope California offer to the incarcerated population, but also to the community?
To the incarcerated population, we have the Hope curriculum. We also have another curriculum called Taking Accountability, and that's for people who have committed crime against with domestic violence, having them understand their actions and manage and control their anger, so that they make better decisions going forward. Um, that's what we have right now. We also provide support if anybody reaches out to them and they need resources and for reentry or resources for their family or resources to help their families stay in touch and communication and just any information. We're there for them. We'll answer emails and messages that we receive. We answer letters, and we're always there.
I know that you're always there, but I want the world to know. Look, listen to me, right? You know how my husband is. You got to speak big about vision and where you're going. So can you elaborate a little bit more about hope?
Hope. So we want to make sure that everybody has hope. Has something to look forward to, because we know that while being incarcerated, a lot of people, it's considered a hopeless place, right? So we want to bring that hope to them, let them know that there are opportunities for growth, opportunities for change, and you have support system behind you, whether you have a family member or not. We're here for you. We will provide that support as best as we can. Um, One of the things that we do within the community is we just developed a domestic violence curriculum for women that have been victims of domestic violence, and also for young girls. Our program for the young girls is to be a safety net for them when they come out of juvenile hall systems, so that similar to the adult incarceration,
Mhm.
there's many programs out there for them, many avenues of support. But me being a juvenile, when I was being a juvenile coming out of juvenile hall, I didn't have support. I mean, I have my family, but as far as
Yeah.
friends and those that I went to school with, they didn't know where I was and they didn't know what I experienced, so I didn't have that support. So we're creating an avenue for those girls coming out of juvenile hall so that they don't go into the prison pipeline. So being a support for them. We're hosting our first activity with them, with women and girls, which is our vision board and lunch, to empower them, to make them feel, to bring them a sense of community, connecting them with women who have possibly gone through similar experiences.
Mhm.
So we're doing that. We also have our program where this is the Seeds of Hope, which is for children that are impacted because, unfortunately, because of my husband's crime, a child was left without their father. And also, my husband had left his daughter without a physical presence of her father. So we want to give back to those kids in the community. We want to be able to provide support to them as far as like if they need support for um, financial, to get into activities, financial support. We want to be able to provide that to them. We want to be able to give them a place where they feel seen and heard, and that we recognize the harm that was caused.
That is huge. Because I've gotten to know you so well.
Mhm.
One thing that I can, honestly say and I recognize a lot is that you put others before yourself all the time. You put others before yourself all the time. You do have a huge heart, not just for the incarcerated population, but the community out here. And I'm glad you did speak about, your vision board event that you're going to be having. And, here we go coming along to assist because one of the biggest things here is, and I told my husband, why go live? I said, because I wanted to be real and raw conversations. Um, where people can know and see what us families go through, have gone through, what we're going through, what we do to get there. To me, I hear you. I've called you to check up on you when you're driving up to the prison, and it's 5 hours. And I'm like, geez, when I was doing that with my daughter, it was hard enough, and it was not even it wasn't even 5 hours. It was 3.5 hours, not to minimize anybody's time, but at the end of the day, your Hope curriculum that you and your husband have already where they can do the mail-in courses. I would like to know, how do the incarcerated population or the families, how are they able to sign up for that?
They can go to our website, restoringhopeca.org, and sign up there. They can select which curriculum they would like their loved one to receive. Put the mailing information in there. We'll get it out to them. And I forgot to mention, we do have one other program.
Yes, I was getting there. I was getting there, Frank. Go ahead. Mhm.
We do have a parenting program for the incarcerated. So we know that a lot of people like to keep, maintain those connections, especially when they have children growing up while they're incarcerated. So this is a
Mhm.
curriculum that's guided to have them be a parent. It's like a parenting workbook, basically, for them to be a parent while incarcerated, because it's not easy, but there's ways it can be done. We've seen it happen. Like I would say, for my husband, he parents his daughter from prison. He's on the phone with her, helping her with homework. He's checking in every day, every single day. There's not a call missed, unless her phone's dead, but 'cause she's a teenager. But we want to make sure that we maintain family connections. And
It says, does these programs knock down time for loved ones?
no, these are not RAC approved programs. So RAC approved programs, then those are programs that are approved by DAI, and you have to get approval from CDCR headquarters in order to be able to provide credits for that. But the thing is, regardless if they're RAC approved or not, the board looks at the work that's being done. The board is not looking to see, are you doing programs just to get your time knocked off, or are you doing programs because you want to do self improvement? So that's one of the things we push for. The work has to, the board is looking for, what is it you're doing for yourself? What are you doing for yourself without having to get any type of recognition? So, the programs are here, and there's multiple organizations that provide the same program without RAC approved credits. It's just like, what are you doing for yourself without
For
having to be rewarded?
I guess I could say that for now, because I know that your both of your programs are in some institutions, and
Mhm.
I say for now because once your curriculum gets adopted by CDCR, then that's where RAC approved will come in, because it's like what the curriculum that Jesse did, right? One way. So because he's able to go into the prisons and teaches one way, then it's RAC approved. But if we do the mail in, then it's not RAC approved. But at the end of the day, it doesn't helping. And I did see, because of your website that you showed me,
Mhm.
and you're very knowledgeable. I have to, make sure I put that out there and give you your kudos. Because at the end of the day, the program that was created to keep the fathers or the mothers closer to their children is very important also, as your husband is system impacted by having his daughter out here. So was my husband, and the way Jesse was able to, and I'll share with the group, maybe on my next life, just because, but not right now, because then I have to, get it. But, Jesse taught my daughter how to potty train through pictures,
Mhm.
through stick figure pictures. And I created a album for her that when she's older, then I'm going to give it to her. And he taught her ABCs through the stick figures. And so it's really important, to make sure that we keep that lifeline available for those that are incarcerated, to keep the lifeline available, for their children, because at the end of the day, we are there. We were there. You are there. There's many other women, children, men, I say that are still going into the system. And it's very important that they know that there's programs like yours, there's programs like ours that are wanting to help them to make their, what is that called? Their C files, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of the times, sometimes some people think, oh, why do, I don't need that, or it doesn't serve me any purpose. But at the end of the day, through our whole process, I discovered that they do look at all that. I still have, and I just a couple months ago handed Jesse his portfolio that I created for him,
Mm-hmm.
and the same portfolio that you created for your husband, with all their accomplishments, their certificates, their letters of recommendation, and you're one. You don't know yet, but you will know right now. You are one, and two other ladies that I would like to have on to, show what your portfolios look like and what our portfolio look like. But I do commend you a lot. And I commend you for the person that you are. And I know you're probably like, stop it, Sandra. But you always look so serious. And I was like, little do people know you're so down to earth.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I even say that's my boo boo kitty. I said, that's my boo boo. Don't get jealous, Alexis. But but at
We love
the
Alexis.
we love you, Alexis. But at the end of the day, it's these are the types of relationships that we have been able to form. And man, if you're able to find a righteous person, a real friend through this process, what a blessing. And you're one of those, Alexis, Myra, those have been, my girls, not including my friend Angie that's on this live, because, she'll get me too. She's from my job. But at the end of the day, I say all that to say, what has it been like for you through this process, encountering friendships, alliances, through either individually or organizations?
It's been interesting. I will say I've met some wonderful people, some absolutely wonderful people on this journey, and I am gonna name drop. So
I know. I'm first. Go, go. No,
no, I you know Rebecca, Linda, Danielle, Clara, you, of course, Alexis, Danny. Gosh, there's so many people, so many amazing people that I've met on this journey. Oh, Christina, both Christinas, Christina Luna, Christina Brown, Candace, and as far as advocates, oh my gosh, so many. Bernice, um, Myra, Danica, for sure. Excuse me, amazing,
you're fine, girl. Please,
amazing.
you're fine.
Um, just so many freaking wonderful people, so many wonderful people, and and then you meet some people that aren't so wonderful, and that sucks. But as long as you are, you have good intentions and you have integrity, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. You just brush all that other stuff to the side.
Yeah, that's I'll tap on that one, because at the end of the day, I have discovered that some people will love you, some people won't care about you, but at the end of the day, it's like they don't even know you or know me or know us, but just fulfilling our purpose and what we signed up to do is what's very important, and drowning out the noise is really important. Drowning out the noise and keep going is something that's important, and something I've seen you do oh so very much. Who says you remind me of everything? I forget who.
That's Clara.
Oh, that's yeah, she does, Clara. That's true. She keeps all of us in check. Says you, who's now my husband. You women are all examples of rising above the circumstances. We are, boo. We are, my love. I was gonna call him Boo Boo Kitty. He's gonna say, stop that. No, we are, but that's the whole truth, But let me get back on track. My next questions are: So you are part of the IFC. You're the vice IFC chair. Am I correct?
Vice chair of IOC, yes,
Okay,
of
you know what you
the statewide IOC.
statewide IFC. So what is that? What do you do? What can you do? What are you not supposed to do? And keep it real, okay? Go ahead. Your turn.
Okay. We are part of statewide IOC. I am also part of my local IOC at my husband's facility, but IOC is the Inmate Family Council. Um, and what we are, we're basically liaisons for the families between the staff. So we take any concerns or that have to do with visiting specifically. Our main focus is visiting. And we take information. We're as a local IOC, we take family concerns regarding visiting. As state IFC, we take those concerns that the local IFC has and that we also hear from family, we bring them to headquarters. There are 5 members of us right now. Clara is the chair for the state IFC. We have Crystal, we have Ty, and we have Katia. We're all members and we all show up to CDCR every quarter and meet with the executive staff there to bring visiting concerns. There are times where we bring issues that are outside of visiting, population concerns if they are brought to us, and we try to resolve issues. We try to bring suggestions and ideas to make visiting more family friendly, um, and to make sure that visitors as well as the population are treated with dignity and humanely. What we don't do is we don't make decisions. We don't have that authority. We're not paid staff. We're all volunteers. We volunteer our time to be of support. And it is a lot of work being IFC, whether you're local or state. There's a lot of work because there's a lot of families that are in need of support, need of direction, need of information, and we have to be there and ready, available to provide it to them. Um, we don't involve ourselves in any prison politics. What we do is we help everybody, regardless of what yard they're on, what their loved one's situation is. It's none of our business because we're there to provide support to families that are in need. Yeah, definitely not paid, not paid at all. We don't get paid to go to Sacramento and meet with staff. That is on our cost. We pay for that. We do a lot of pushing for family friendly activities in the prison. A lot of the IFCs do activities such as for Father's Day, they'll be doing activities, they'll get new photo backdrops, they'll do crafts with their loved ones. Some facilities allow music to be played in the visiting room, some don't, but it's just making the visiting experience as normal as possible. We don't want them to feel like they're sitting in a prison visiting room. We don't want people to walk into visiting rooms ever and feel like they're being policed.
Mm.
We try to change that narrative, for the families and also try to get the staff to get on board and understand that we didn't commit any crimes. We are not an incarcerated individuals. Our children are not part of this as well. But give us that moment where, we get 6 hours of visitation on Saturdays, Sunday, and now Fridays, but make those 6 hours meaningful for us. That's what
Mm.
we push for.
So you're the mediator between the families, you're the mediator and CDCR, correct?
Yes, and it's not easy always.
So in your situation, how
Yes, it
long
is.
does it take you to get there for one meeting?
Oh my gosh. So, well, we fly. We don't drive out there. We will fly out there. Well, we do have some people that are coming from out of state. So we have a member who lives in Texas who travels to these meetings to make sure that we're there. We do our best not to miss a meeting because we know how important it is to bring up these concerns that families have. Yeah, and like Sandra says, we are part of the solution as IFC. Absolutely. Um, yeah.
I started laughing because you tend to call Linda Sandra, but I am Sandra. Okay? Okay? I'm sure Linda has to go through that where she calls you Linda. I wish Linda was here so she could elaborate a little on how many times you call her Sandra, but
Because you guys have the same personality.
that's something
Sound like
that
alike.
because you live in SoCal and
Mhm.
I want that to be known. You live in SoCal and you have to fly up to NorCal. And so that takes money that comes out of your own pocket.
Right.
And so on behalf of, she said, LOL, on behalf of all the families, all the families, I could say, we're grateful because it does take people that care to want to change the situation or make it better. And so on to the next stuff. My
Mhm.
next questions are, um, what have you done? I'm just kidding. I'll skip that because my husband, he'll be like, Sandra, stop it. But you said we could touch on it. So here I go. So what do you
What?
think about the transition? What do you, you're rolling your eyes. What do you think about the transition from GTL to Suares?
I mean, it's going to happen regardless. It's interesting for me to see people get excited for the transition. And for me, I'm like, to me, it's not a big deal. I mean, we have the tablets, and that's something I never take for granted. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just switching into one from one company to the next. That's it. That's all it is, really. But it's
Alexa
gonna
said
have
we
its
want
problems.
details. Alexa said we want details, okay?
It is a process. It's not going to be an easy transition. Just like when we got the initial tablets. I mean, many years ago, a few facilities had the pilot program with the JPay tablets, but then when we got the GTL tablets, there was issues. We did a whole survey. We did a whole survey on the tablets and presented that to the FCC. We presented it to CDCR, and we got a lot of people involved in the issues that the tablets were having. I mean, and we're still having tablet issues. We see that the facilities that already transitioned to Securus are having the same issues. There's still connectivity issues. There's still issues with messaging going through. There's still issues with calls being dropped. So I mean, but it's kind of expected. We know that this is just part of the process of transitioning the network. Given we're getting Wi-Fi, not internet, but intranet Wi-Fi in these old buildings. So there's bound to be issues with connections.
Okay, that's hilarious. Look, I was trying not to laugh when my husband just said talk about it. So, why did I mention it? I mentioned it because it's a transition.
Hmm.
It's a transition just like everything else, except that it's massive transitions to where, how those who don't know, you're Appalina. I say, your phone is an Appalina and mine is a dinosaur, my Androids. And so when you first get the first models, you know how they could have a lot of hiccups.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, there's always hiccups when it comes to something new. But I told my husband, I get a lot of messages about, tablet issues, connection issues.
Mhm.
And I tell my husband, we didn't have any tablets. When my husband was when my husband was incarcerated, we didn't have tablets. I said, so this is something new, though, it's something new. And it's gonna take a little bit of time for it to resolve itself or for it to, I guess, come to be in order, maybe, if that's how you want to say it or I want to say it, right? But at the end of the day, I know that a lot of the times, some families or people don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear it's going to take time. They don't want to hear it's the beginning stages, and they definitely don't want to hear, well, you guys didn't even have one, because at the end of the day, currently right now we're working on a bill together, not just us, but obviously,
Yes.
you
Us
know,
and multiple
yes,
other organizations as well. Yeah.
yes, that are working on free text messaging, um, and removing the 15-minute
Restriction.
uh, restriction. But we've heard already, literally ourselves have heard some prisons don't even have that recording anymore, or a prison doesn't have that recording anymore. And so I brought that up so you can tell us a little bit about the legislation that your organization, have worked on, if you remember, of course.
Yeah, we've supported a lot of bills. We definitely have. When I was part of the previous organization, we did the SB 1008, which was a prison phone calls, and we made along with you and a few other amazing organizations, um, made free phone calls in the state of California for prisons. Um, and that was amazing. That was like a huge impact. It was actually sponsored. The idea came from Worth Rises and Bianca
Crisis.
Tylek, who fights for free phone calls around many different states in
Hmm.
the U.S. Connecticut was there first, and when she was able to make that happen, she's like, "Let's move forward and get free phone calls in every prison we possibly can." And she worked hard, and
Hmm.
she brought the idea to us, and look at us. We have free phone calls. It made a huge impact in the cost for families. I mean, $15 for a phone call previously to now free, to now free.
Did you
And
see me roll my eyes?
yeah, yes.
Yeah, so we didn't enjoy that either. And I told my husband that also, which, listen, it's kind of funny because I'll talk about it, right? And I'm like, we didn't have tablets, we didn't have free phone calls, um, but at the end of the day, it's still worth, because I tell him, we could have left. If we could have lived a quiet life somewhere in the suburbs, which not really because I'm an LA girl, but um, we decided to stay. He decided to stay, to support the same community that supported us. But it's amazing to see when he goes into the prisons how many people still know him. You know that. You've gone with
Yes.
us. And I believe in my heart of hearts that one day that's going to be your husband. He's going to be walking in to teach his curriculums. And at the end of the day, they're going to yell his name like they do Jesse. Jesse! Like that family visit one, right? Where was
Yeah.
that at? Where were we? Selena's, was it? I think it was Selena's.
Yeah.
And I don't forget those little moments. Jesse! And I was like, uh, and I tell him all the time, player, I'm like, hi, I'm the wife, hi, and he just
Yes.
starts laughing. Um, but so what bills are you currently working on right now?
Right now we are working on the tablet bill. The tablet bill, the Hugs Act is something that we're sponsoring. The Hugs Act is the bill that is geared toward making visiting, an additional push towards making visiting more family friendly. What we've discovered is that some facilities, unfortunately, don't allow the human contact that we need during visiting. Some of them don't even allow their children, allow the incarcerated population to hold their children during visiting. So this bill is geared towards, again, making visiting a little bit more humane, allowing us to have those moments of embrace during visiting, not just the peck before and after. We're not saying making out. That's not what we're pushing for. We're pushing for the natural human contact that is being restricted in visiting. So
Are
that's
you
some of the
missing one
methodologies
more?
bill. We do have the one with debt-free justice, and that is to reduce fees for people who
Oh,
get
fine, something.
for court fees and tickets and stuff like that.
Look, I started laughing because I said right now, wait a minute, she's missing one. Wait, we're right there next to you.
But we support so many bills. We're supporting the visiting bill that Essie's pushing, and although there have been visiting bills in the past, this one's not the same as the others. This one is also to make visiting more humane. It's not a family visiting bill, but it's definitely a visiting bill to make sure that, again, visiting rooms are family friendly and that obstacles are removed from people trying to get approved for visiting.
Mm,
Obstacles are removed from people are who just want to see their loved one, who just want to be a part of their time while they're serving.
yeah. So, we're getting down to the last minutes because I don't want to. I could talk to you all day, which we do sometimes. but I want to be also mindful. I wanted to have you on because I want people to know what you do, who you are, the real you, which you're still a little reserved right now, but that's okay. But I want to know and I want to tell you how special you are. You're a very special individual, woman, leader. You have impacted my life, and I can never be, grateful enough for the times that you have been there for me. Just recently, my daughter getting hurt, and you picked her up all 55 pounds like she weighed nothing, and I struggled, but you were there. And, that's the kind of friend that you are. And I wanted to have you on also to have a pre-recording because after your husband comes home, I'm going to have you on again. I start laughing because, I tell people, I prayed for the blessing. We prayed for the blessing. But when the blessing comes, sometimes we don't know what to do with that blessing and what that blessing's going to look like. And at the end of the day, after incarceration, the aftermath of incarceration, the aftermath of visiting, the aftermath of driving up, 5 hours, 10 hours, it's a lot. The funds that you're inputting into being a part of the IFC or being the IFC. All you ladies that are, the IFC, I want to thank you for that. But the last things that I will ask is, can you tell us where do we follow you? Where do we follow your organization? Any last words? I know, I'm the best. I know. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
You can follow me on Restoring Hope CA on IG and on Facebook, and then my personal page, Angel J Rice, on Instagram. Um, and final words is be supportive to your loved ones while they're incarcerated. Always be there. Be their inspiration. Be their hope. Be their support. Always encourage them to do better. Do more than what they're doing. Don't don't nag them, but definitely encourage them to do more because people are watching, even when you think they're not watching. So you want to make sure
Mhm.
that, they're doing the work, not just talking about the work that they want to do. Make sure they're doing the work, encourage them so that when they come home, they are ready to hit the ground, hit the ground running and continue the work that they've done inside. It doesn't just stop while they're, incarcerated. We're going to make sure that they come home with the tools necessary to continue with you guys. And then I want to thank, I have to thank Jesse. Jesse has been an amazing person. Jesse's like a brother.
We stop. Go ahead. Let me look. That's him throwing hearts. Go ahead. Hmm.
Yes. Yeah, me and Jesse are cool. Jesse is really down to earth and very supportive in this process. Like he has been definitely supportive along with you with Restoring Hope. So I appreciate you guys both for that.
Well, one of the biggest things that's very important that you touched on is exactly that. It's what counts, what matters is when people are not looking. When
Mhm.
people are not looking on the inside of the walls, on the outside of the walls, is what we call integrity. And having the integrity to want to change, to want to do better is why we created these spaces. You know, what can I say? Jesse's Places is the prison programming that we do, right? But at the end of the day, it's the stories that come after that's important.
Mhm.
It's the stories of the work of what's being done. How can we be supportive, to the incarcerated, to the families? And that's what's really important is to try to make those types of changes within ourselves to be better. And that's why, when you said your husband has five bachelors, I was talking, me and Jesse, we talk a lot, right? And
Mhm.
so your husband and my husband kind of look alike. And they kind of look alike. So they do, right? So I told him, I was like, he has like bachelor's, and he was like, whoa, but it's what he did on the inside, what my husband did on the inside, that made that big difference when he came on the outside.
Yeah.
So, a lot of people don't know because he said it. I think he posted that. I don't remember, that he got his paralegal, um, I
Certification.
his paralegal certification, the countless nights, the going to sleep at 2, 3 in the morning. Um, but all the work that he does is the kind of work that he did on the inside. And so I brought all that up to say that what you said about being supportive to your incarcerated person is true, but also keep in mind to take care of yourselves that
Absolutely.
are out here, to have that self love, that self care, and to make sure that you have those good mental days. If you're not feeling okay, then drown the noise out. But what does that say? How can we be supportive for our loved ones to really find them jobs and their careers when they come home? Or how can we help them prepare for a job for when they come home that I can help connect him? Well, go ahead.
There's
Do you want to answer
multiple,
that?
yeah, there's
Hmm.
multiple organizations out here that provide that provide job readiness for when they come home. I will shout out one of our good friends, Mikey. He does a he's with the union, Mikey Montoya. He's with the union, and he does the training for the apprenticeship program for oh my gosh, I'm having a brain freeze, for steel workers, and he has the No More Locked Doors organization in Chino. So he does. He's formerly incarcerated as well, so he does help people get jobs. Then you have the Job to Job Network, and then just so you guys know, I know a lot of people don't know this, but there are a lot of temporary agencies within warehouse work just to get them something, get something going when they get out. Most warehouse jobs will hire you regardless of what your background was, especially formerly incarcerated. Um, Warehouse work, construction work, unions will take them in with a criminal background as well.
And also, there are the organizations like at first, when Jesse got out, excuse me, when Jesse first got out, he went to Homeboy Industries.
Mhm.
So they have their, I believe, 12 to maybe 18-month programs that help them, and they pay them hourly or however it goes every 2 weeks potentially. And then they prepare them, uh, like Homeboy Industries, they hire. Then there's what is that? ARC. There's different organizations out there that have these programs also to help them. The higher OC. Um,
Mhm.
there is different ones in both of our organizations. We put up the flyers. We put up flyers of this information. If you're not following us on Restoring Hope CA or Jesse's Place organization, you can. And then these are the resources that we tend to pick up from resources that we go to in different facilities to present our organizations. But lastly, I just want to thank you for coming on and being a part of the aftermath. Anything else you would like to say?
Reach out to either one of us if you guys need support or new resources or referrals for yourself and your incarcerated loved one. And like I said, I'm here for you guys. We're here for you guys. If you have questions, need support for yourself, need referrals for yourself, because self care is number one while supporting an incarcerated person. You got to have that because you can't fill an empty cup.
You cannot. And
You
so
cannot
you
fill
cannot.
another cup with another empty cup.
That's
You know what I'm
hard.
trying to say.
I look, I speak your language, you speak my language. And lastly, my last announcement will
Yes.
be next week we will be having Alexis Banda on, and her story is super personal, and that has to do with separation with someone that's incarcerated and how she's getting through the process, her healing journey, And also stay tuned for my two curriculums, which is Healing Roots for women, um, going through with someone incarcerated and after incarceration. And the last thing is my other curriculum, which is Healing Beyond Bars.
Mhm.
She said, don't go.
She doesn't want to
Angel
say
share.
yet.
You
Oh, I
got
could talk
to,
for hours. I could talk for hours, but my
I
kids are going to be
know.
calling.
We No, I know. I thank you very much. I appreciate you very much, for being a friend, an organizer, a strong woman of faith, and thank you for encouraging your husband also and for being there for the community. So until next time, this is not our last conversation. Our next, just so you know, our next live is going to be tablets, Securities versus GTL. I'm just
No.
kidding.
Green light or no green light?
We all want to know. Listen, don't don't play with me with that green light because I don't even know what I told my husband. What is that the green light that everybody's talking about? Simply because we didn't have a tablet, and then he started laughing. But at the end, to be or not to be, that is the question.
Hmm.
Well, you take care. I'll talk to you in a little bit.
Bye, you guys.
Bye. Thank you.